What's up everybody, it's RobinGaming here, and Microsoft has finally announced their brand new system. And in this video I will be breaking down everything that you need to know about the event, from all the announcements to my overall conclusion about the press conference, what I thought of it. So yeah, let's start off by talking about the system itself. It's called the Xbox One, which I thought was a pretty interesting choice. Of course, the first Xbox was just called the Xbox, and Microsoft of course called the successor the 360, which was pretty much because it had to compete with the PlayStation 3 at the time. You know, they couldn't call it the Xbox 2 because it would compete with the PS3, and people who just didn't know a lot about these systems would think that the PS3 was more advanced because it had that number that was bigger than Xbox 2. Now, yeah, with this one it looks like they are actually going back to a whole other name, so the Xbox One, not like the one in terms of the number, but One because it's an all-in-one system. You know, it's meant to be able to handle entertainment, media, you know, TV services, games. It's meant to do anything that you can possibly demand from a console like that. So yeah, Microsoft talked about this, talked about how they improved Kinect. They didn't really say that it's Kinect 2.0, I believe. They just said that it's a new version of Kinect. And they also showed the box itself and the controller, which was pretty interesting. You know, the controller itself, it looks pretty similar to the you know, normal 360 controller. It's actually quite like the same design. Of course, I mean, everyone knew that the 360 controller, you know, nobody really complained about that. Everyone pretty much thinks it's a perfect controller. And yeah, they didn't seem to change a lot about it. It has like a few new buttons and such, but it's not looking to be you know, much of a difference from the 360 controller. But yeah, of course they did show the box, which was pretty interesting. You know, PlayStation decided not to show the PlayStation 4 box yet, at least not at the event itself. And yeah, I mean, it was pretty much guaranteed that Microsoft would be showing off the box, just so they could already win at that front from Sony. Yeah, I mean, everyone expected to see it, and yeah, we got to see it. To me personally, it's not really a huge detail because, you know, it's a box that you're going to put under your TV, and you won't be seeing it for the next 7 or 8 years. You know, you will just look at it like sometimes, but it's not really that much of a, you know, of an important factor, I think personally. But it's still great, of course, that they showed it. And yeah, I don't really know what to think about it. I mean, we all have our personal opinions about that, about the design itself, of course. But yeah, it's definitely interesting that Microsoft decided to focus more on the media and more on the entertainment side of the system than the games itself. And this was my biggest fear, and unfortunately, you know, I'm just a bit disappointed that they did go, you know, more, you know, they did focus more towards the media side of the system. I mean, they've only spent like 1/3 of the whole conference about games, which I thought was just really disappointing. And I'm really interested, you know, what gamers will think of this, like the real Microsoft fans. I mean, they showed off great features, like you can easily swap TV channels by just, you know, with your voice just, and I mean, that's great. And they showed us all these easy ways of navigating through menus and stuff like that. But to me personally, as a gamer, I don't really find it that important. You know, it's probably gonna sell a lot because yeah, people want a system like this in their living room, you know, an all-in-one device that will do everything that you can possibly demand from a system like that. That's great, but to me as a gamer personally, and I think also to a lot of like Xbox gamers who are really hardcore gamers and want to play the new Halo and the new Gears of War, you know, I think they personally find it, you know, more of a disappointment that Microsoft went in this direction. But yeah, I definitely saw that coming, and yeah, I'm really interested, of course, in what you think about that. So please let me know, you know, what you think about this choice. So then afterwards we got EA, who came to the stage and revealed that they got a whole new engine for all their sports games. The new engine is called EA Sports Ignite. We didn't really get to see a lot of in-game footage, like it was all pre-rendered, it looked like. So yeah, I didn't really know what to think about it, because I want to see real gameplay, want to see what the differences are that way. Of course, everyone can make a trailer like this, like they showed. We still don't know really what the difference will be. They did announce that they will have exclusive content for FIFA 14 Ultimate Team on the Xbox One, which is of course what Microsoft does all the time, that they get these DLC offerings to their platform. And I think FIFA fans on the Xbox will definitely be happy with that. So then finally Microsoft came to the stage with exclusives, which I thought was the most interesting part of the whole conference as a gamer myself. They started off by showing Forza 5. Now this is pretty pretty much a game that I expected to see coming. But again, it wasn't really gameplay that we saw. And I mean, PlayStation just announced Gran Turismo 6 not too long ago, and they showed a similar sort of trailer. And it all looks the same. Well, Gran Turismo 6 is actually a current gen game, and the new Forza is of course a game for the next generation Xbox. So, you know, I really want to see gameplay, really want to see what the differences are there. I can't really compare it right now because they show the same sort of trailer and we don't really get to see gameplay of it. So then the next game that Microsoft showed, another exclusive, came from Remedy, the creators of Alan Wake. Now, I had personally expected to see Alan Wake 2, but it looks like they didn't decide to continue with that. They went for a whole new IP, which is called Quantum Break. I thought it was a really cool game. I mean, we saw a real life action trailer, and it showed this little girl who had these superpowers, and you saw that she was able to get a ship to collapse with a bridge. Really interesting for sure. And I mean, it looks like a great game, but again, we didn't really see gameplay. We don't really know what the game is about. We'll probably hear from that at E3 or in interviews later on, but right now we don't really know a lot about it yet, so I'm not really going to judge it yet. But it looks like a great game, and if I can compare it with a PlayStation game, you know, Beyond, the new PlayStation 3 game that's coming out in October, also has a girl with superpowers. I thought it was pretty similar to that in terms of the concept, but yeah, still it's looking to be a very promising game, of course from the creators behind Alan Wake, so you can't really go wrong there. I'm really interested in it for sure. So afterwards we got the announcement of a live-action Halo series, and Steven Spielberg is actually involved in that, which is very interesting for sure. I mean, I didn't expect to see Halo 5 already. I think, you know, they're just keeping that for maybe already for E3, maybe for, you know, a date later on, but I mean, it's pretty much guaranteed that that will come out at the end of 2014 or something. Again, I didn't really expect to see it here, but yeah, we got the announcement of a live-action Halo series. Of course, this can be related to the whole direction that Microsoft is going for with this new console. I think that Halo fans will definitely really be like excited with this announcement, and they will they will be very happy with this. Again, you can just expect the new Halo to come out in 2014, so don't worry about that. And I think that this live action, you know, Halo series that also has Steven Spielberg involved, you know, you can't go wrong there. So it's looking to be, you know, a great series for sure. And then finally at the end we got of course what we all knew was coming, the gameplay reveal of the new Call of Duty Ghosts. Now, I found it pretty interesting that they decided to start off with a behind the scenes video where we just got to see like what made them come up with this decision. Like, they first of all started off by saying that they didn't decide to go with Modern Warfare 4 because they wanted to innovate and they wanted to do something brand new. I thought this was pretty, you know, a pretty dumb thing to say, to be honest, because, you know, Activision had this lawsuit with the former Infinity Ward employees who are now at Respawn Entertainment. You know, they had this lawsuit with them, and I think they kind of settled with an agreement that they weren't going to make any more Modern Warfare games, so yeah, they would not continue the lawsuit, and I think that's pretty much the main reason. I definitely think they would have gone for Modern Warfare 4 in the first place. But yeah, of course we have this brand new game, Call of Duty Ghosts. They really expressed how this new Call of Duty would have a new engine, new story, new characters, which I thought was great. But then when you looked at the engine, when you looked at the gameplay, I thought that looked really similar to the previous Call of Duties. And you know, it just makes me wonder, like, if this is the new engine that still looks pretty similar to the previous Call of Duties, you know, what will those games look like in 5 or 6 years when you compare it with these games with great graphics like Battlefield? I mean, I can't really see that the next Call of Duties will be built on this engine and will still look great in 5 or 6 years, because it does already look really similar to the previous Call of Duties, and it doesn't really look like an improvement to me. I found it funny that they actually decided to show a comparison video with graphics, just to kind of like prove that it definitely does look better. And I mean, it does. Like, it has better textures, and you know, some more features definitely look better, but at the same time, it's still, when you look at it from a distance, just when you look at it overall, it's not like really an improvement, in my eyes at least. Let me know what you think about that. I thought it was not really an improvement, and again, I'm just really interested about, you know, how much can we compare this Call of Duty game with previous Call of Duty games? Will it be that much of a big leap? We'll still have to wait and see, of course. The trailer definitely didn't show us too much about it, and Activision has said that it's going to be the best Call of Duty game ever, so that's quite something to promise, of course. So yeah, I'm really interested in that. And now the final announcement for the Xbox One is that it's coming out later this year, and of course we'll get to see more at E3. I really hope they will focus more on the games at E3. You know, I don't think we have seen too many games yet, and I really, you know, I was really disappointed with, you know, them deciding to focus more on the media and more on the entertainment side of the system than the hardcore games. I think it's really, you know, interesting to see PlayStation having announced that the PlayStation 4 will be all about the hardcore gamer. You know, they literally said that they aren't going to aim for the living room anymore. While Microsoft, on the other hand, is saying, like, we want to go for the living room. That's our main focus right now. And I'm just really interested in, you know, what will the real Microsoft hardcore fans who love the games that they get to play on the Xbox console, you know, what will they think about this? Are they going to be disappointed with this overall? Definitely let me know this, because I think it's just really interesting to see all the consoles really like targeting a different audience this time around. Yeah, that's something to think about for sure. So then that's pretty much it. Everything that you need to know about the event. Let me know what you think about it. Were you disappointed? Were you happy with everything that has been announced? What do you think about the games? Just let me know that. And then I thank you a lot for watching, and I hope to see you again next time. Overload.